Hello, this is Christy. I have integrated Descript into my workflow a long time ago, and I've learned so many things, and it has evolved over time, and it is now a very nice and reliable tool for editing podcasts, videos, tutorials, audio files, whatever. So recently, Descript have announced that they have support for more complex and more customizable audiograms. And in this tutorial, I would like to walk you through how to create audiograms with Descript. And Descript has two ways to create audiograms. The first one was included a while ago, and it's quite simple and it's easy to use, and it is quite limited in terms of the customizations that you can do. So in this video, I'm going to show you that, but I'm going to also show you the better way to create audiograms, customize them, and make them look exactly as you like, and then share them on social media or YouTube or wherever you want to share them to promote your podcast or your show. So in this video, let me show you how I create audiograms. The first way, which I just want to walk you through it for a minute, is to create the audiograms from the share menu. So I have a recording here that I just wrote a little article about Descript, and I recorded it as an audio and I transcribed it. So I have this portion here with a few bold highlights, which I want to turn into audiograms. So one way to create audiograms from this is to just select the text that you want to include in your audiogram, and you go to the share menu, and then you have export, and then you have audiogram right here. And when you access this menu, it basically shows you a preview of the audiogram with the animated text, and you can select whether to include the whole composition or just the selection, which I'm going to leave the selection here. You can kind of go through a couple of options right there with a little different styles, and then you can customize the titles here and the labels and the accent color, and that's, like add a background image and your logo if you have a pro account, and that's it. I mean, this is the customization you can do here, and this might be fine. This one also shares it on the Descript hosting, not, as a video. So what I want to show you today is actually the more complex but more powerful way to create audiograms. So if you want to create audiograms with the features that were announced recently with Descript, to have waveforms animated on the screen and customizable text and all those animations and things, you have to build the audiogram right in here in your composition. So I have transcribed this composition, of course, and I want to create an audiogram. Typically, when you want to create an audiogram, usually it's like a square clip. So if you don't have video, that's fine. This project only has audio. So if I just play this, another podcasting application for Descript is to create audiogram. So you can see I only have audio here and I transcribed it, but I want to use some of these selections to create audiograms. So one way to activate the video window, which is where you design your audiogram on the screen, is to just add a visual element. Now, you could be adding a rectangle or fancy captions or whatever, and that's going to activate the video window. Because right now, because my project doesn't have video, this is a composition that is audio only. So that means if I go to the view menu, I can't actually show the video window right here, because I don't have any video content. So one way to do that is just to go somewhere in your text and Control-Shift-K to bring up this conductor kind of thing, which allows you to add things to your composition. And if you scroll down here, you can see some of these visual elements like a rectangle or text or ellipse or waveform and fancy captions, whatever. As soon as you do that, let me add fancy captions. For example, click that. This activates the video window. So now I have added fancy captions right there in the text. So if I put my playhead right down here in this timeline, and if I bring my playhead right here, you can see the captions on my video. And I say video in quotes because I don't have video, but that's the video window. Now, another way to do this, and let me delete the fancy captions here for a second. My video window is gone now because I've just undone all the things I did. Another way to create that is to actually include an image. So what I like to do and what people typically want to do is when they create the audiograms, they want to have like a background image with their branding or brand colors, maybe the logo of their show or a picture of some kind. So I designed one right here. So I'm going to bring this into Descript. It's a little square image with myself in it and my name and my website YouTube account address. So I'm bringing this into Descript. Just drag it on top of the window in this panel here on the left, which is the project panel. If you don't see that panel, by the way, you can activate it using this project icon right here, or you can click on this sidebar to expand the sidebar and see the project files. So now I'm going to bring this image in here and just drop it into my project sidebar. You can see it right there. It's a JPEG image. And now I can just go to my composition and just anchor this image in my text. Now, if you want to design your audiograms separately from the project, from the main composition, all you have to do is just select the portion that you want to end up in your audiogram, so only that fragment of text, and you can right-click and you can say Clip to Composition, New. This is going to create a new composition just with that portion of the audio and text. So watch this, click New, and you can see here on the sidebar, there is a new composition called Clips from What is Descript, which is the name of my first composition. If I click in here, I only see the text that I clipped from that main composition. Now, if you want to clip another one, go back and let's select another one like this, right click, Clip to Composition, and then there you go. I created another one right here. So now I can go into one of these audiogram clips and just design my audiogram. Again, I don't see the video because I don't have any visual elements, but I have imported this image that I brought. So all I need to do is just click this image and just drag it inside of this composition at the start. There you go. So this has activated the video window and has placed that image on it. Now you may say, well, that's a square image. That's not a problem. You can go to the top right here under Video Settings and open this menu. And this is where you can design the size or define the size of your video or audiogram. So in this case, I don't like the orientation to be landscape because my image is square. So I'll just drop down and say square. So there you go. Now my video includes the whole image. If you want to see more, you can drag the sidebar here, the separation of these two areas to see the top and the bottom like that. It will resize automatically to fit in that portion of the screen, which means you can see the exact size and how it's framed. So now we're ready to place other elements on my audiogram. First of all, I want to make sure that on the timeline down here, if you don't see this too large, it means it's kind of small. So you can just drag this top of the timeline and expand it so you can see both elements, your script track and then your image track. So you can see that my image track by default is not long enough. It doesn't last for the whole duration of my audiogram. So I will just select this end here, the end of the clip, and just drag it to the end. That makes the image long enough so it lasts for the whole fragment. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to have maybe the text, because an audiogram technically has a text, just animated text on it, and you can see the text kind of working on the screen as you listen to it. And if people on social media typically listen with with no audio, it's muted as they scroll, then of course that's the main reason why the audiogram was invented in the first place, because they want to show the text. So anyway, I want to click in here next to the word another, and that's where I want to insert my captions. And the way to do that is you can click on this plus sign here at the top. That's going to bring in this orchestrator, composer, I forget the name of it now. But if you scroll down, you see fancy captions, and that's what you want to add right there. So you can see again, it doesn't last for the whole duration. So you may want to expand it again to meet the end of the clip right there. And now you can go and animate, and not animate, you can go and customize the placement of this text. So one thing you want to do is, of course, you want this text to play in the blank area of your screen or image. So in this case, I don't want it at the bottom here. I want it to be at the top and on this kind of corner here that I have, explicitly left it blank so I can put my text on it. So now you can just use these, the anchors on this resizing container and just make the text fit in there like this, maybe all the way down here. And one thing you want to do is maybe align it to the right. So in this case, you want to bring up the properties, the clip inspector window right here. If you click on this, it's going to open this panel with the properties of the selected element on the screen. So right now my element is the fancy captions. So that's what I'm customizing right now. This is too much text to be appearing at once on text on the screen. So what you want to do is probably make the text larger. So if you go in here on the right side, you've got the font and the weight of the font, bold, italic, whatever. And then you've got the size. All you need to do is either click in here and type a size, or just click and drag, and you can see the text is changing size. And you just go quite large. Okay. Now, another thing I want to do is align it to the right, okay? Because my design right now is me on the left, text on the right. So I'm going to align it to the right. And I think it's still a lot of text. So I may pull the bottom bit up a little bit like that, just to make sure that the text kind of sits there in that corner. If it's still too much text, of course, you can just push the size up, and Descript will automatically remove text that doesn't fit in the window at that time. So now let's play this and see what happens. Podcasting application for Descript is to create audiograms or short promotion. So you can see the text is changing, but now I want to have that animation that shows me the current word being spoken. So again, click on the fancy captions and scroll down, and you can have this word level animation. Click on that, and you will see now that this current word is going to be highlighted as the speech is going on. So let's play now. Clips with animated text on a background or with video footage and some visual effects and animation. So as you can see now, the animation is happening, the text is animated, and you can customize these colors right here. You can customize the active word color. Right now it's black. Maybe I want to turn it into some kind of a dark red or brown, just like my background. Okay, like this. And then, of course, the playhead color is white. You can make that yellow or something. That's going to customize that playhead thing. And then you can also add a stroke to your text, and you can choose the color and the way, you can have an outline for your text, and you can also have a background for your text. Depending on your image and what you want to do, you have quite a lot of customization options in there. So I think I'm going to push this even higher like that. So let me give you a tip. Sometimes the text on the screen inside of that box doesn't really flow nicely. So what I mean by this is, I don't like this one, or short promotional clips with animated text. So what you can do, you can control which text is on the screen at any one time by just adding line breaks in your text. So for example, it starts here, another podcasting application for Descript, and I would like my text on the screen at that moment to stop there. So I just go to the word Descript and press enter. That causes my text to stop there. Look, you can see, and continue on a new line. And a new line means a new fancy captions slide if you want. So I'm placing here is to create audiograms or short promotional clips. Again, I would like to stop there. So I go to short promotional clips, press enter, and now I'm moving to the next line with animated text on a background. Again, I want to break it here, or with video footage and some visual effects and animations. I think I'm done here. But watch what happens now. The lines of text that I created are actually individual slides in my fancy captions animation. So watch this. Another podcasting application for Descript is to create audiograms or short promotional clips. If I decide that, okay, to create audiograms or short promotional clips to be on a new slide, of course you'll know it, press enter right there. So now all of these lines actually show you exactly what's going to be on the screen at any one time. So this is much more control like that, because then you can say, oh yeah, okay, I can move everything higher maybe, and if I feel like there's still too much text on the screen, I can go and break it apart even more to force it to show it the way I want to. So sometimes you may think you don't have a lot of control over the division of the words that appear on the screen. Well, yes, you do. You just make them a new line, and then also punctuation like full stop. It gives Descript an opportunity to break that text right there and put it on a new slide or on a new screen as the words are being spoken. So this is what I like about this. So now let me show you another thing you can add. Another visual element is the waveform. You may have seen those on different audiograms, like a waveform, animated waveform that actually reflects the audio being heard. Again, that's another element you can add to your audiogram, just like this. Place your playhead at the start or wherever you want that to start, appearing, and go to this plus sign here and search for waveform. It also helps if you type waveform, and there you go. You're filtering those items you can add, right? So I'm going to add a waveform now to my audiogram. And what I like about Descript is if you have to design more of these in one go, it doesn't yet have templates for things, which would be nice, and I think that's a feature that a lot of people are asking for, but it does remember the position of elements and the position of and the properties of elements that you've placed. So next time, I'm going to show you in a minute, I'm going to create another audiogram much faster because I'm already defining the placement and the properties of these elements right here. But then on the next one, it's going to remember these and just place them where I placed them now. So watch what happens here again. This waveform is the green one. I'm going to make that one last for the whole duration again. So you can see it right here. It's placed in this kind of separation area, which is kind of nice. I think I like it there. So let me play this now. Another podcasting application for Descript, you can kind of see it there, but it's not large enough. So I can click on it, and on the right side, again, the inspector, you can change the fidelity and magnitude. And you can kind of see my magnitude now is kind of minimal. So I can just click and drag this, and you can see the waveform changing amplitude or magnitude, whatever. And then you can also change the color. I kind of like that yellow, but let me just show you. You can make it white, and you can also change the width of the lines on the waveform. You can change the line width, so to make it more prominent like this. Okay, you can also change the style, which I don't know if it works on this one, to a circle or a ring or a wave to create, which it might be interesting if you want to be, you don't want to be too distracting with these. I kind of like the lines, and it seems like most people prefer them. And you can also turn on the mirror on them, so you have a full symmetrical waveform, or you can have a simple one if you want to align it maybe at the bottom. So right now I could be putting this one here, but I have the text, and it's kind of going to animate on the text. So I'm going to just leave it here and make it mirror, and let me just make it kind of orange like it was before. I do like it how it was before with this orange yellow kind of thing. So there you go. That's my waveform right there. So I think I'm done with this audiogram. Let me play some more promotional clips with animated text on a background or with video. So that's it. I mean, I'm ready to share this. If you want to share it, you can share it right here. Go to the menu, but you don't go to the export audiogram anymore, because this is no longer a built-in kind of audiogram style. It is a complete audiogram you created as a video. You can export it to video. So there you go. I can go and click export to video, and you produce an MP4 file, and then you're free to share that on any social media you like very easily. Now let me show you how easy it is now to create another one, because I've already established the location of all these elements and their properties. So watch this. I go to the second audiogram now. This one doesn't have anything. So what I do is just bring in the image first to activate the video screen, just drag it and anchor it in text somewhere. You can see my video size is wrong for now. Just click here to make it square. And now watch this. As I keep adding the elements, they will go automatically in the same spot that I did before. So what I want to add is a waveform. So click on here, waveform, click on this, boom, it's in the same place. Maybe the amplitude, the magnitude is a little small. You can change that there. But other than that, everything in the cloud. Other than that, it's working fine. The other elements, I'm going to add a fancy caption plus fancy captions. There you go. The placement in the top right corner has been remembered, and also the font size, right? So if I play now, Descript also backs up and synchronizes everything in the cloud. So there you have it. All you have to do now is to maybe go through it and break up the words, the phrases where you want them to stop being on the same screen in the fancy captions. And when you're done, make sure all of them kind of stretch all the way to the end. You don't want to be having them cut short and end up with a black screen. And if you need to adjust the end, of course, you can drag the end of the clip right there and just bring all of these back in here. You notice on the timeline that Descript kind of tends to snap to other clips just to help you align them properly in the same spot. So right now, I think my audiogram is done here as well, and that only took a few seconds. Real-time collaboration. Multiple users can, of course, if you don't like the placement, maybe move this one down. You're free to do it, and then go to the share menu and create your video. Upload it wherever. And it's very easy now. If I want to maybe change the aspect ratio, let's suppose I want to upload one of these for maybe TikTok or something, which has a vertical video aspect, right? So all you need to do is go to the top here, video settings, and change the aspect ratio to be portrait 9:16. Boom. And now all you have to do is just tweak the placement of the elements on the screen. So look, I'm zooming out just so that I can see where the top and the bottom of my screen is. And if, of course, the image you want to load in here is not going to work with this one, but you can actually drag the edges of the image to just zoom them out or whatever. You know, I can probably just place myself in there. I just have the text in the corner, which doesn't really work in this case, but you can just pull the top and just, you know, keep the text, I suppose. There's my shoulder in there. And again, you know, you move your placement, maybe make this larger, you know, this area larger, maybe make the font larger. So there you go. In a few clicks, I have actually created a new version, a new aspect ratio of my audiogram for posting on Google, you know, YouTube Shorts, whatever you don't want to do. So I'm actually going to undo these because I want the square one back in there. This is how you create custom audiograms using the new features that Descript has added, and gives you much more control over the look and the aspect. So I mean, the sky is the limit. You design your image if you want, or if you don't want an image, you just use the background with the rectangles and other graphical elements on the screen and just create your audiograms like this right in here. So this is very easy to extract portions of your episode. If you have a longer episode, you want to create some promotional clips, you just extract them into separate compositions and just create the design for the first one, and then the second, the third one, and the next one are very easy to do. So I hope this was useful. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. And I'm going to do much more videos on Descript because I am using it every day. And I use it with a lot of my clients, for myself as well. And I'm going to show you how I integrate Descript with Camtasia, which I have a lot of tutorial with Camtasia on my channel, but I also use Descript in my final stages of my tutorials to transcribe, to correct and create captions and other things with Descript right in here. So feel free to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you on the next one.